There are 10 NFL superstars who were thrown away like trash by their own teams. They then got the ultimate revenge by winning a Super Bowl with another team. From kickers to quarterbacks, these are the 10 players that didn't just prove their old teams wrong, they made NFL history while their old teams watched from home. Today, we're breaking down 10 free agency signings that didn't just improve teams, they changed the NFL. Let's start the countdown.
Oh, by the way, that Drew Brees, he can play.
Imagine being told you're damaged goods. That was Drew Brees in 2006. A devastating shoulder injury had teams questioning if he'd ever throw the same way again. The Chargers, the team that drafted him, decided to move on with Phillip Rivers. The Miami Dolphins had a chance to sign him, but passed, choosing Dante Culpepper instead. One of the biggest what-ifs in NFL history. But the Saints saw something others didn't. They took a leap of faith signing Brees to a 6-year, $60 million deal. He didn't just revive his career, he revived an entire city. In the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, Brees led New Orleans to its first Super Bowl win. A perfect match that changed football history.
Coming through the toward Marshall, knocked down by Darrelle Revis. He read it all the way.
Let's do it.
In 2014, the New England Patriots made a strategic move by signing cornerback Darrelle Revis to a one-year, $12 million contract, making him one of the highest-paid players at his position. Revis, renowned for Revis Island, where elite receivers were stranded without hope, brought immediate dividends to the Patriots' defense. He recorded 47 combined tackles, 2 interceptions, and 14 passes defended, earning first-team All-Pro honors. His pivotal interception against Andrew Luck in the AFC Championship game helped propel New England to a 45-7 victory. In Super Bowl 49, Revis' lockdown coverage was instrumental in the Patriots' 28-24 win over the Seattle Seahawks. This signing underscored how acquiring a shutdown cornerback can elevate a team's defense to championship caliber.
Reggie got him again. Reggie. They got him again. Back at the 20. Hello, Reggie. The Vince Lombardi Trophy is coming home where it started.
Before 1993, the Green Bay Packers were stuck in the past, a once great franchise drowning in mediocrity. Then came Reggie White, one of the most dominant defensive players to ever step on the field. The Minister of Defense had his pick of teams, but in a shocking twist, he chose Green Bay, a frozen tundra known more for its history than its future. The result? Instant credibility. White didn't just bring talent, he brought belief. His presence turned a struggling defense into one of the league's best. His leadership helped shape a young Brett Favre, and together, they ended Green Bay's Super Bowl drought, bringing home their first Lombardi Trophy in nearly 30 years. White's arrival brought pride back to a once storied franchise. The Packers had waited decades to reclaim their place atop the NFL. And somewhere, Vince Lombardi was smiling.
Peyton Manning now has more touchdown passes than any other player in NFL history. Peyton Manning has the most passing yards in NFL history.
And we'll go to a couple of Super Bowls.
Multiple neck surgeries nearly ended Peyton Manning's career. The Colts moved on, believing his best days were behind him. But the Denver Broncos saw something different. They took the risk, and it paid off. Manning didn't just recover, he returned to elite form. In his second season, he shattered the single-season touchdown record with 55 touchdown passes, leading Denver to the Super Bowl. His arrival turned a middling offense into the league's most explosive. Just a year earlier, Tim Tebow was their quarterback. In his final season, Manning led the Broncos to a Super Bowl 50 victory, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest ever. His signing instantly restored the franchise to contention. But after he retired, the team has never been the same.
Into the flat, picked off, and here we go the other direction. This will be the Heisman Trophy winner, Charles Woodson.
The title is back in town. The Green Bay Packers are world champions of football.
At 30 years old, Charles Woodson was seen as washed. The Raiders had moved on, convinced his best days were behind him. He was still talented, but injuries had taken their toll, and many believed his elite years were over. But the Green Bay Packers had a different vision. They saw a leader, a playmaker, and a future Hall of Famer waiting for his second act. Woodson didn't just prove the doubters wrong. He dominated. In 2009, he won Defensive Player of the Year, leading the NFL in interceptions and becoming the centerpiece of a revitalized Packers defense. 2 years later, he helped bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Green Bay, cementing his legacy. Even as his speed declined, his intelligence, instincts, and leadership kept him at the top of his game. Never bet against a legend.
There's Kurt Warner. Let's go deep. Torrey Holt. That is amazing. Congratulations, Dick.
Thank you very much.
Kurt Warner.
Grocery store clerk to Super Bowl MVP. No, really. Kurt Warner was bagging groceries and playing in the Arena Football League when the Rams gave him a shot. He wasn't drafted, wasn't a top prospect, and wasn't supposed to make it. But when opportunity knocked, he didn't just answer, he kicked the door down. Thrown into the starting lineup after an injury to Trent Green, Warner took the league by storm. He orchestrated the greatest show on turf, turning the Rams into an offensive juggernaut. He won league MVP twice, threw for over 4,300 yards in his first season as a starter, and led the Rams to their first ever Super Bowl title. His journey wasn't just improbable, it was legendary. Warner's signing wasn't just about talent, it was about believing in the ultimate underdog. Not bad for a guy who once stocked grocery shelves.
Adam Vinatieri. It is good.
All right, congratulations. Well deserved.
Kickers don't usually make this list, but Adam Vinatieri isn't just a kicker. He wasn't just an accessory to championship teams, he was the reason they won. For years, he was the most reliable weapon in the Patriots' dynasty, drilling clutch kicks in the most pressure-filled moments. His game-winning field goals in Super Bowl 36 and 38 cemented his reputation as the most clutch kicker in NFL history. Then, in 2006, he made a shocking move, leaving New England for the Indianapolis Colts. Some thought his best years were behind him, but Vinatieri proved otherwise. His veteran presence and precision helped Peyton Manning finally get over the hump, leading the Colts to a Super Bowl victory. His game-winning kicks didn't just win championships, they defined dynasties. When the pressure is highest, some legends don't flinch.
Hey, Brady goes for the big ball to Moss. He reels it in with one hand right over Revis.
Randy Moss was written off after 2 lackluster seasons in Oakland, where he looked disinterested and far from his explosive self. The Raiders let him go for a 4th-round pick. A bargain for one of the most talented receivers ever. Many thought he was done, but then Bill Belichick called. What followed? Pure dominance. Moss and Tom Brady formed an unstoppable connection, redefining what an elite deep threat could do in modern football. In 2007, Moss shattered records with 23 touchdown receptions, leading the Patriots to a 16-0 regular season, something no team had ever accomplished before. Defenses knew what was coming, and still couldn't stop it. One player transformed an already great team into a historic one. Moss wasn't just back, he was better than ever. This is why you never sleep on greatness.
Gilbert flips one, and that is picked up, and why not? Picked up by Deion Sanders, touchdown.
2 teams, 2 Super Bowls, and one man who made it all happen, Deion Sanders. In 1994, the 49ers signed prime time to a 1-year deal and instantly became the most electrifying player in football. He locked down receivers, won Defensive Player of the Year, and helped San Francisco win the Super Bowl. But then, he shocked the NFL, jumping to the Cowboys, their biggest rival. The result? Another Super Bowl ring. No other free agent has ever won back-to-back titles on 2 different teams. Deion didn't just play the game, he dictated how it was played. Quarterbacks avoided him, receivers feared him, and his swagger matched his dominance. If you lined up against Prime, you were already losing. His impact wasn't just felt, it was measured in championships.
Coming back. Tom Brady's coming back. Way to go. Congratulations.
At number 1 on our list, The greatest free agent signing of all time? Tom Brady, 20 years in New England, 6 rings, then at 43 years old he says, let's run it back somewhere new. 1 year later, Super Bowl number 7. The Bucs weren't just struggling before Brady arrived, they were irrelevant. No playoff wins in over a decade. Then, one signing changed everything. Brady didn't just bring talent, he brought a championship culture. His presence turned a dysfunctional franchise into a title contender overnight. He recruited elite players, raised expectations, and backed it all up on the field. In his first season with Tampa Bay, he led the team to an 11-5 record, marched through Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, and captured a Super Bowl in his very first year with the team. The GOAT didn't just add to his legacy, he cemented it in stone. Leadership, experience, and an unshakable winning mentality matter just as much as talent. And with Brady, Tampa Bay temporarily had it all. From franchise-altering quarterbacks to defensive legends, these free agency hauls changed the NFL forever. Who do you think was the greatest free agent signing of all time? Drop it in the comments. And if you loved this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our next deep dive into the wildest stories in NFL history.